Find more questions and study at your own pace on our website. The link will be in the description. Let's get started. Question 1. What describes integration testing? Option A. It validates an application use case. Option B. It validates behavior of individual elements of an application. Option C. It requires an automated testing framework. Option D. It validates interactions between subsystems of your application. The answer is option D. Integration testing validates interactions between subsystems of your application. It focuses on ensuring that different components or modules of an application work together as expected when integrated. Question 2. A distributed team of data analysts share computing resources on an interactive cluster with autoscaling configured. In order to better manage costs and query throughput, the workspace administrator is hoping to evaluate whether cluster upscaling is caused by many concurrent users or resource-intensive queries. In which location can one review the timeline for cluster resizing events? Option A. Workspace audit logs. Option B. Driver's log file. Option C. Ganglia. Option D. Cluster event log. The answer is option D. To evaluate cluster resizing events and understand their timeline, the cluster event log is the appropriate location. This log specifically records events related to the cluster's operational changes, including upscaling and downscaling activities. This is essential for tracing and analyzing both user actions and query impacts on resource allocation. Question 3. The data engineer is using Spark's memory-only storage level. Which indicators should the data engineer look for in the Spark UI Storage tab to signal that a cache table is not performing optimally? Option A. On heap memory usage is within 75% of off-heap memory usage. Option B. The RDD block name includes the asterisk annotation signaling a failure to cache. Option C. Size on disk is greater than 0.0. Option D. The number of cache partitions greater than the number of Spark partitions. The answer is option C. If the Spark memory-only storage level is being used, any data that is spilled to disk indicates that there is insufficient memory to store all the data in memory, which directly contradicts the purpose of using memory only. Therefore, if the size on disk is greater than 0, it signals that the cache table is not performing optimally. Question 4. When evaluating the ganglia metrics for a given cluster with 3 executor nodes, which indicator would signal proper utilization of the VM's resources? Option A. The 5-minute load average remains consistent flat. Option B. CPU utilization is around 75%. Option C. Network I/O never spikes. Option D. Total disk space remains constant. The answer is option B. When evaluating the ganglia metrics for a cluster, CPU utilization being around 75% is a strong indicator that the VM's resources are being effectively utilized. This level of utilization suggests that the CPU is actively handling processes without being either idle or overburdened, thus indicating proper resource utilization and balancing of workloads across the cluster. Question 5. Which statement regarding stream static joins and static delta tables is correct? Option A. The checkpoint directory will be used to track updates to the static delta table. Option B. Each micro batch of a stream static join will use the most recent version of the static delta table as of the job's initialization. Option C. The checkpoint directory will be used to track state information for the unique keys present in the join. Option D. Stream static joins cannot use static delta tables because of consistency issues. The answer is option B. Each micro batch of a stream static join uses the most recent version of the static delta table as of the job's initialization. This means that the static delta table does not update with each new microbatch. It remains constant for the duration of the streaming job. This approach allows for consistent joins during the entire streaming process without the need for updating the static dataset continuously. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to check out our website where you can find more questions for this exam. The link will be in the description. Thank you for watching and good luck on your exams.